Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahil aliyyil azim. Innahu min Sulaiman wa innahu bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah, today and good evening, good day to all our participants of the International Conference on Information Science. Today I will present my paper topic entitled Reading Preference and Motivation Elements in Reading Habit Research. I am Dr. Muslim Ismail, the presenter and the lead author of this paper. And my co-authors are Muhammad Zadi Bardan, Rizada Muhammad Radwan, and Nurul Fadah Salmin Fanud. We are all are from Pustakaan Tun Abdul Razak, University of Jamara. InsyaAllah, the topic is about reading preference and motivation elements in reading habit research. Okay, this conceptual paper is examine the research conducted on university students' reading habits over the past 3 years. Several pertinent questions, facts, and figures were extracted from the accumulated literatures from papers from Scopus particularly. These statistics are essential for university library management, particularly within the limited resources and funds. Reading preferences question inquire about the purpose of their reading, whether for leisure, information gathering, or academic requirements. Paper versus data reading preferences is among the most frequently asked about themes. Among the highlights as a question include the time of day, how long, and where they prefer to read. This concept paper also addresses the subject of why data reading is preferred. Research and data about the reading habits of university members are of high value to policymakers when it comes to justifying allocation and funds, especially considering the rising cost of databases subscription. Data and information on current trends of leadership among current generation university students are of interest to library administrators for the purpose of devising the best information package acquisition and the best way to serve and educate current generation of university students. This study is interested in the present style of research and on reading habits among the members, since it will provide insights into what is being questioned in surveys and questionnaires in recent times. Several reading elements from recent studies highlighted the significance of user reading habit shift towards more hybrid and almost reluctantly and possibly more toward fully digital reading behavior. And this is a very interesting shift because this we can possibly forecast what is the future for the librarian and library service particularly. This question is possibly the most important needed answering that affect strategies, staffing, and fund allocation. From literature, Parodi et al. Composed the purpose-guided reading habit survey, which inquired about the respondent preferred medium and concentration devices and discuss gender across the reading purposes. That is academic reading, reading for entertainment, and reading for information seeking. They also studied. The study also showed that over 84% of the students favor the paper medium. These students stated that they prefer the reading on paper because for the academic purposes in general, and they are able to concentrate better. The statistical analysis revealed that all comparison between paper and digital media are statistically significant in favor of paper medium, in contrast to digital resources. Fascinatingly, when the reading purpose is for information seeking, most student preference clearly indicate that they favor the digital medium. In another paper, Ding 2020 surveyed university students reading habit, and it was found that more than 20% of the students think that paper reading is still the main form of reading. And nearly 50% of the students think that e-reading is the mainstream of current reading, while about 30% of them think that paper reading is the same as traditional reading. According to the finding of Stoller and Nguyen's 2020 study, the participants had opposing preference for paper medium reading, depending on whether they read for entertainment or academic purposes. 61% of respondents preferred digital materials when reading for entertainment, defined in the survey as closely as the reading for enjoyment and or relaxation in one's leisure time. Okay, only 29% of the respondents preferred paper-based material when reading for entertainment. 60% responded indicated a preference for paper materials when reading for university studies, while 32% indicated a preference for digital material. From this data, uh, there is still a strong preference for paper material. According to the findings of Prasanna Kumara study, 2019, the majority of respondents favor paper books as a source for reading. They use textbook and notes taken in class to prepare for examination. According to the study findings, the vast majority of students believe that they could quickly obtain knowledge. That is their perception. However, only small percentage of students believe they could download books from internet. Ahmad et al. 2019 studied reading habit from the perspective of gender comparison among college students. Patterns of text medium preferences were parallel to the result just reported when examined with the type university in which the respondents were enrolled. The study indicated that the most male students prefer online reading, while most female students prefer academic reading materials. Fiction and novel are least preferred by the male student, while as in female student, newspaper are the least preferred sources. Kumara and Sampas Kumar 2019 surveyed reading habit impact on the student academic achievement. The study found that 30% of students use the internet for sending and receiving emails, followed by research at 38%, and for downloading important text 13%. However, the types of information and materials mostly read by the respondent are the notebooks, textbook, and alternate sources. Baba and Fendi 2020 reported that 38% of respondents did the academic reading on a daily basis. 30% of the respondents said once a week, 10% as responded answered once a month, 23% admitted they rarely read for academic purposes. Intriguingly, 41% of respondents read for pleasure every single day. 36% said they did so once a week, 16 once a month, 13% acknowledged that just occasionally read for pleasure, and 2% stated they never read for pleasure. This is very interesting data that we should replicate to know the data for our population. According to the data, the frequency of academic reading and among the respondents is highly promising, as the majority of them read academically every day or at least once a week. This finding is quite encouraging. In the same vein, the majority of those who participated in the health survey stated that they engage in leisure reading on a daily basis or at least once a week. According to Rahmat et al. 2019, the most common period for reading some literature were before sleeping, while waiting, and being alone. Okay. Research and habits such as carried out by Mirza et al. Is interested in number of questions, including where people read where people read the most. Then they noted that the vast majority of the respondents opinion that they visit the library once a week. 60% respondent visit once a month, which followed 60% respondent claim that they visit the library every day. On the other hand, 13% of those who participated in the survey said they rarely go to the library. Reading motivation is the question of what motivates or drive a university student to read academically and leisurely. Question about the driving factors behind the reading choices are of research interest, though there are some overlap with the question of reading preference. According to Dale and Lee, 2021, based on research conducted on hospitality management students, 63% of the students mentioned that they tend to read more if they have more free time. The participants also demonstrated that they spend more than 2 hours every week reading as part of their recreational reading during school session. Besides that, the survey also shows that participants reported spending more than 4 hours on reading as part of recreational reading during vacation, ranging from 0 to 40 hours. Dale and Lee also stated that the research found that students read more than 6 hours for classes, ranging from 0 to 25 hours on average. Students were also asked about what they read, saying more than 70% of the respondents stated that they read because they were concerned over the grades, and 60% mentioned that the interest in the topic within the course made them read even more. Besides that, student intention towards reading books, especially textbook, is due to the fact the need to obtain something for the fulfillment of the classes will impact in terms of the GPA. In conclusion, the reading habit of university students have a weight of relevance. Research in the reading habit of university students, reading habit of university students have a weight of relevance not only within university, but also within the library and on national level. Data and statistics imply that people are shifting the reading habits toward consuming digital content as a result of present economic slump and restricted resources. Despite this, there is still widespread conviction that paper format will remain the most popular in the long run. According to what was discussed in a few papers that were mentioned earlier, related to reading preferences and motivation, it can predict the reading habit of the users in terms of what they prefer to read, paper versus digital, for versus when, the time of the day, duration, and where they read, refer to the location, faculty, classroom, and library. Therefore, it is recommended that future research conducted to investigate the reading habit, reading choices, and motivation serving as the primary component. That's all for my presentation. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.